What's up, y'all? Your girl is back with another video. Welcome to all my new subscribers and to all my old riders. Welcome back to another video. So today we are tapping into a southern pound cake recipe, y'all. Like, I know pound cake is extremely difficult for some, but we're gonna break this all the way down and we're gonna get it together because the holidays is right around the corner and we need our pound cakes to be ready to go. Y'all, get into this cake, cream cheese frosting. Listen, nothing is better than a piece of pound cake and a scoop of ice cream. With this recipe, you might not even need the ice cream. Like, when I say this cake is amazing and it's actually easier than most people think. I'm not sure why people struggle with pound cake, but you know, it's not that hard. So let's get into the recipe. So here I started off with my softened butter, and today I am using my stand mixer. If you do not have a stand mixer, please feel free to use a hand mixer. So I started off with softened butter, and then you're gonna add in your vegetable oil. So you want to get this well incorporated. Now, as you can see, it looked funny when it started off, but just keep beating. So as that is mixing together, you're going to start off with your flour, and you want to mix all of your dry ingredients together while the butter and oil mixture is coming together. So I have flour, I have baking powder, and then I have salt. And all measurements will be located down in the description box below. So you want to whisk this together well and make sure that all of your dry ingredients are well incorporated. And then you're going to need eggs. Your eggs need to be room temperature. So to speed up this process, I just put eggs into a bowl of like warm water, and then you just keep changing the water out until all of your eggs are room temperature. So by this time, your butter and oil should be well incorporated. And then I also missed out, I'm sorry you guys, on when I added my sugar. So once your oil and your butter is incorporated, you're gonna go ahead and I don't know how I missed that. You're gonna add your sugar, and then you're gonna beat your sugar until it's light and fluffy. And then once you get to that point, then you go ahead and you add in your eggs one at a time. And then as you can tell, I am adding it in, and then I'm letting each egg kind of get incorporated before I add the next one. But you also want to be careful, and you don't want to really overbeat your batter at this process. So once you added all your eggs, you're going to go ahead and add your vanilla extract and then almond extract. And if you choose to just use one extract, you could just make it a full tablespoon. So at this point, you are going to alternate your dry ingredients with your wet. So I started off with my flour, and then I added milk, and then you're gonna add flour. So you want to start with your dry ingredient and end with your dry ingredient. So you're just gonna keep rotating back and forth until all of your ingredients are well incorporated. I do have it on the low, I think it's level 2 speed, because you don't want flour or milk to splatter everywhere. So like I said, you want to start with your dry ingredients and then you want to end. So here I'm down to the nitty gritty, and then we're going to just add that in and make sure that everything is well incorporated. So once you finish adding in your last piece of dry ingredients, you want to scrape down your bowl really good, and the paddle, like as you can see, there's like flour at the top of the paddle. So you want to scrape all that down really good, and then give it one more good mix for about 30 seconds. But again, do not overbeat your batter, because it's going to make your cake like really just tough, and you don't want that. So just give it a really quick mix for about 30 seconds, just to make sure that everything is incorporated. And then you are going to just, hand mix and go around the bowl and make sure that you didn't miss anything. And as you can see, the batter is like really dense. So you're gonna get your bunt pan, and you're gonna spray your non-stick spray. I like using either Pam's baking spray or Baker's Joy, whatever you have. and then you're gonna distribute the batter around. So it is important to like shake out any air bubbles that you have, so that way you don't have like holes in your cake. So I pound it on the counter a few times and give it a tap with my hand, and then you're gonna bake it on 325 degrees for an hour and a half. So it's been an hour and a half, and I'm gonna take a toothpick, insert it, and once you pull it out, it should come out clean just like this. If it does not, then you need to keep it in the oven. I know everybody's oven is different. So this step is just to ensure that our pound cake is as moist as possible. So I created simple syrup, which is a half a cup of sugar, half a cup water, and then a half a stick of butter. And then you're going to boil until all of the sugar has dissolved. So if you're familiar with baking, then you know that simple syrup is very common in the baking industry. And it just ensures that cakes stay nice and moist throughout the duration, you know, that it's being enjoyed. So I go ahead and use the Bates thin brush to add and lock in all of this moisture. So you can add, some people pour it onto the cake as it's in the pan. I think that's a little obsessive. Yeah, so I just go ahead and brush it on because I don't want my cake dripping wet, but I do want to ensure that it's nice and moist, just like so. So now that we have our cake nice and moist and ready to go, we are going to move on to icing this baby. A lot of people do enjoy pound cake just like this, nice, plain, but we are going to add icing. So for the icing, you're going to start off with softened butter and also softened cream cheese, and you just want to whisk that together. You can use a hand mixer for this step, but I find that it's less of a mess when I just go ahead and whisk it. You know, a little elbow grease never hurt nobody. So you want to go ahead and whisk this down until it's smooth, and then you're going to go in with your sugar. Now you do not want to add all of the sugar at one time, because as you will see, it will get lumpy and then it'll be extremely hard to kind of whisk together. So I start off adding half a sugar at a time, and then you want to go ahead and just kind of stir in as much as you can. But to make this process simpler, I just add a little bit of milk as I go. But you will want to keep in mind that you don't want to add too much milk, because you want the consistency to be just right for your icing. So just go ahead and alternate, just like we did with the dry ingredients. You add your sugar, and then you just keep stirring in a little bit of milk at a time until you get the consistency that you're looking for. So don't forget to kind of add in all of the sugar that's left on the side of the bowl, because the last thing that you want is to go and ice your cake and then you have like these little powder balls of powdered sugar lingering around. It just, you know, does not look great for presentation purposes. If you don't care about presentation, then, you know, it's your prerogative. But as you can see, my icing came together beautifully, and it is just enough. Like, I've added just a little bit more milk because you want it thin enough that you can pour it with no problem, but you also want it thick enough that it actually sticks to the cake. So I find it helpful putting my icing in a measuring cup, because you can just kind of pour it on and it just looks better than it being, I guess, spooned on it. I don't know. I found that this worked easier for me. So I used a measuring cup to pour, and you can pour as little or as much as you want onto the actual cake. So I went around, I don't know about y'all, but I love like a lot of icing on my pound cake. So this is to your discretion. If you like a lot of icing, cool. If you don't, cool, because I'm gonna go back over it some more, because you just cannot go wrong with cream cheese icing. Like, and bam, that's it. Like, this recipe is so simple, but this cake is delicious, and the cream cheese icing really just takes it to another level. This cake is a little dense, but it's pound cake. It's supposed to be, and it's moist, and we made sure that it was extra moist with our simple syrup. So let me know how you guys like this recipe down below, and hopefully, you know, the holidays is coming around, so y'all can get a lot of practice in with y'all pound cakes before the holidays get here, because you know the pound cake is not something that you can mess up bringing to the family function. Okay, so give this video a thumbs up if you like this recipe. Make sure to comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next tutorial. Thank you.